Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of The Outer Worlds. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're supposed to join me today.
Here we go.
As we initiate the proceedings... Curious. Of killing a bunch of guards. Oh, hi, don't shoot me. Hi. Why? This is really bad. Thanks. Oh, I'm not okay. I need this. I'm healing. Oh, I'm healing as I kill them. By the way, if you're wondering what's going on, why I'm not dying as much as I maybe should. My problem here was that I misunderstood exactly. Ooh, healing when you kill is a huge medicine saver. I understood exactly how much we were surrounded. And we were. These guys have all the medicine we'll need, though. So I think we're good. So where are we? Well, if you didn't watch the last few episodes, you probably should. But as a reminder, we are trying to save Phineas Wells. We are in the pit right now, which is the name of this thing. Which is a space station, prison space station. It holds 3,000 people, I think. Or at least they said. Maybe it's just the crew and not the prisoners. I don't know. But we don't really know where we're going. My quest compass probably does. Over there is where we're going. Up, said Parvati, is where we're going. And if she says that, that's because it is. We're not doing stealth, by the way. Because I don't like it. I don't like it. I also had hiccups. I do like that they changed their clothes, though. When we go into stealth mode. We're very exposed right now. I don't like it either.
The captain's here. Let's go. I want to see all of this fucking gas.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to. Who are these? I really thought that they were enemies. Seriously? My god. What's going on over here? You guys are all dying? Hi, finally you're shooting. In the balls, that's what you get. Who's doing this? Oh, that one. No, that's not that one. Over here. Need to look at the compass. I think they're dead. Who were these? I say were because I'm sure they're all gonna die. No, these were corporate commanders. Oh, tactical shotgun. That's the one that I was eyeing before and sort of sold before realizing that I probably shouldn't. So these were these are help. Iconoclasts! Thanks! I'm sorry for the headshot, by the way. Fortunately, they're not lethal. Don't worry about it. It's kind of complicated. No, I don't want to climb. I mean, they're doing a good job. They're doing a much better job than the other ones did. Outside. Oh, there you are. Yeah, it was pretty good. August Van Ney. That's their leader? Oh, hi, friend. It's kind of difficult. My IFS is terrible. IFF is terrible. It's mostly the UI. Just not making it super obvious and also me being dumb. Okay, I think we advanced. This thing has a pretty decent rate of fire. We did? Oh, sorry. I am hurt. Oh, that's bad news. Okay. This damage over time is a bit of a problem. Hey, are we good? Yeah, I like using the sniper rifle because it uses less ammo. And, that's important. Keeping as many bullets as I can. 'Cause I don't know how... I mean, I have 1,700, but, you know. You can never have too much. Definitely not. Sealed. We got a computer. Computers are easy. That's sealed. Unseal the door. Well, that was an exercise in futility. Not necessarily futility, but sort of weird. They all died. So our friends basically come into prison to help us out. Ooh. Where are these? What? Oh, they're coming. I'm disguised, but... Oh, hi, friends. Kill that one. Good. Friends. I think we're meant to just be running a lot to not necessarily worry about these. Yeah, that didn't go too well for you, did it now? I am sort of caught between a hard place and an electrical gun, to be honest. We're good. Ah! Load the game does a good job. No, I don't trust the fact. I don't trust that the one on top is the latest, basically, because some games don't do it, and I think particularly Obsidian games don't do it. Okay. Well, we're back inside. So how do I want to do this? Do I want to just go for it? I think... Let's try it. Because the thing is, if we need to fight these guys again... then that's going to be a bit of a problem. It looks like we are meant to do this, like so. But we fought them already, so we don't need to fight them. Oh, yeah.
Hope you're right about this, Captain.
She's right about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's weird that she looked at Parvati rather than me. This feels like...
After all you've done, all the work you've destroyed, all the money you've cost me, your misguided crusade has doomed Halcyon.
This voice actor, I think, plays a character in Gothic. And I don't remember who he is. I don't even know if he's the main character. He might have been the main character. In the Gothic series, the Gothic 1 through 2 and 3. I don't know. Damned Halcyon. Doomed. Not damned, doomed. Phineas and I are saving the colony.
That crackpot's plan is ludicrous. We have steps, action items, budgets, and reports. All he's got is a guilty conscience and lofty dreams. In any other circumstance, I'd admire your boldness. In this one, however, I have only 2 words for you. Fuck off.
Chairman Rockwell. Just the man I'm here to kill.
How dare you? Even thinking about killing the chairman of the Halcyon board is a felony. Thankfully, you're in a prison already. Find the nearest cell and wait until I'm done here. Then I'll drag you to the executioner myself.
I'm not waiting for anything. This colony needs saving right now.
Is that what you think you're doing? This path of wanton societal disruption? You call that being a savior? I call it sabotage. You know what saboteurs get, Captain? Summary executions. In the next room is the finest automechanical purveyor of death ever made. Try not to scratch the paint with your skull. It was fucking expensive.
I'm sure we can talk about this, Rockwell. Let's work something out.
Absolutely not. Akande was always the sociable one, not me. Need I repeat the magic 2 words?
I kind of liked it when he said nasty words to me. Sure, I'll be there before you know it. Also, you realize you can't really threaten me too much with this purveyor dispensary of death. It's just, first off, it's like it's barely above our height. Secondly, like, this is a real-time shooter with not a whole lot of mobility options and very, very limited field of vision, even though I did increase it by a little bit. I think it's at 75 right now. Oh, no, it's frame rate limit. Well, we don't have action. Yeah, it's a very limited field of vision. So what do you expect to threaten me with? Why is this locked?
Great work.
That's curious. Oh, there we go. Need to be careful with that because it's easy to take this stuff. Take everything. Yeah, these are the hardest hacks. Riot Automechanical is online. RAM. UDL is not responsible for lethal force dispensed by the RAM unit. If the automechanicals in this area need maintenance or updated security protocols, please consult your nearest security engineer. Let's access RAM override menu. Warning, damage to the RAM unit or Labyrinth personnel as a result of its security or safety overrides will be marked against the employee, there's an error, who is currently logged in. Activate weapon safeties. Warning, RAM core systems operating below maximum efficiency. Defensive and offensive capabilities weakened. In the event of a security breach, suppression protocols may be less precise than usual. Please prepare the janitorial automechanicals for a level 6 mopping sweep. And let's attempt a shutdown. The RAM unit is in suppression mode. 3-part authentication is required. In the event of a critical malfunction to the RAM unit's main systems, partial authentication may be accepted. To protect the RAM unit from any unauthorized access, administrations may only bypass 2 of these passwords. Administrative bypasses remaining 2. Yeah, but I can bypass the first password, and then the second one. And there was another option that I didn't choose, because, yeah, administrative bypasses remaining 0. Abort sequences then. Damage to the RAM unit, yeah. Did it shut down? Or is it just crappier now?
Here they come.
What? No, it is not shut down. This is less than ideal. Okay, what can I do here? Yep. It's kind of mean. It's kind of mean, but I can... Whoa! It's got a thing in the back. Also, it's a Reinhardt from Overwatch. That's bad news. Okay. Did you kill it? You did not. Oh, that's a good one. But I think I did the most damage when I shot it from the back. I'm gonna run out of ammo before I kill these guys. Because I'm trying to heal off of their death. There we go. I'll bring you back, don't worry about it. Okay, that's a good, I think we're good. I think this is, you delivered on your threats, game. You idiot. Yeah, that was weird. Whoa, that was bad as well. The shift key stopping the reload as we know it. Okay. Yeah, they're not coming back. I know that one. Yeah, shooting from the back is what you want. Oh. Yeah, I think the game delivered on its promise. That was a pretty cool boss fight, all things considered. Very, you know, not very challenging. The system just doesn't... The combat system just doesn't allow something to be supremely challenging or anything. But I liked it. I also like that I didn't die. That's my favorite bit. Where are we? Yeah, it's the same area. It's just, you know, designed in to be similar to. Oh, freaking!
Halcyon, after all. Why must I always do everything myself?
Right.
Everyone all right?
Oh, you're here. Aye. You teleported, didn't you? We're not in combat. Oh, we... Well, good job, Parvati.
Get me out of here!
Chairman Rockwell, that was, Hey, Phineas is over here. Good. He was very attached to Phineas, with good reason.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress and killed the chairman just to rescue one doddering old man? You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
Are you kidding? The board never stood a chance against me.
Ah, all in a day's work for you, huh? You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Yeah. I don't like the sound of that at all.
Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
There's also the consideration that they are all dead. At least I think that's the implication here. Which is also a thing, you know. It's like... I don't know, it's like a family member dying and your first thought is going to be, oh, but they owed me $5 or something. You know? And just like, also they're dead? That's also a thing. I mean, you can't do anything about it, but, you know. We have a lot of work ahead of us. We'd best get started.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
I was wondering if we were gonna need a leader. Or if, like, because just killing the chairman isn't everything. It's the whole structure underneath him that we'll definitely get another chairman. It doesn't matter. I would say every little place needs their leader more than we as a whole. Unless, of course, me as a leader or the leader of Halcyon just gives more authority or more independence to every little, like, Edgewater and stuff like that. What we're gonna need, Phineas, is a freaking constitution is what we are gonna need. Assuring that people have those rights. Then assuring as it's not really an assurance because it's a constant it's just sort of a paper, and then people need to fight for those, but you know how it is. Let's see the options that we have. Somebody has to run this colony. I'm the only competent person left. The second one is you can count on me. I'll help you revive the other colonists. That sounds like the thing that I was trying to achieve all the time. And the third one is that I'm going to do what I've always done, whatever I want all the time. Let's go with the second one.
I can't tell you how glad I am to hear that. When I revived you, I thought we were going to save this colony all by ourselves, but I was wrong. We can't save Halcyon on our own. We're all going to have to pull together, somehow. We are not a colony anymore. Our last connection to Earth has been severed. I don't know if we'll survive, but we're going to have to try our best.
The OSI...
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment she landed in Emerald Vale, her actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. As the colony struggled to survive, the inspirational story of the iconoclast spread like wildfire. Zora's focus on logistics made for a safer monarch, where the iconoclasts enjoyed a surge of new blood looking to join the ranks from struggling townships. Life on Monarch slowly improved from a desperate fight for survival to prosperous growth and more permanent strength. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the Lifetime Employment Program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, The board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
And that was The Outer Worlds. Game lead directors Leonard Boyarski and Tim Cain, of course responsible for Fallout 1, among others at the time. Art direction is Daniel Lauer. Also, it wasn't art. The art direction was from Leo Boyarski. The narrative design was from Leo Boyarski. Yeah, I figured, because Tim Cain loves programming, and he also loves writing, but he's more of a programmer. Anyway, that has been a fantastic game. Honestly, I was talking about this before, so I have had time to formulate my. I was talking off camera, I should say, about this before. I've had time to formulate my opinion about The Outer Worlds, and I think it's better than Fallout New Vegas on all counts. It's not a perfect game because it needed a better combat system, a better itemization system, better. Those two things would be the priority for me, and honestly, the character system, I'm not a big fan of the perks specifically. Everything else sort of works, but the perks needed something a little bit more advanced than that. The weapon customization system, for sure, needed something better than what it is, but that's just my opinion. I think that it doesn't take away from what the game is, what exists. What the game is doesn't it doesn't make it worse. It just doesn't necessarily make it better, because where the game shines, I feel, is in the characters that you meet, the quest design for sure, and in the writing. I think the writing is really. I really think this is really well done in terms of the writing. I felt, and I understand that some people might see it as very one note, but the whole game is not about the board and how bad the board is. It's about at the end, right after I mentioned that we needed a constitution, I just figured this is sort of an analogy for the Declaration of Independence of a country, and specifically of the United States, because the game was made by Americans largely. So yeah, I think the story is very complicated, so it's not. It takes a little while to settle in, I feel, and I wish it didn't. I wish it was a little bit more straight and narrow right at the beginning, the storyline, so you could ruminate in the quests, not the quests, but rather in the questions that are raised by the storyline at the end, and just build a little bit more suspense. So it's a little bit backloaded in terms of the storyline, but the themes themselves are just about responsibility and about. I think it makes sense. It makes thematic sense that Earth is not there, because, yeah, it's about looking after yourself and looking out for yourself and your mates. That's what, at the end of the day, that's what the story was all about, and I feel it's sort of like a curveball for me, and I think for many people as well, that it is about that. It doesn't deal directly, and it shies away, interestingly enough, from dealing directly with questions that actually would matter. I was talking about in the dialogue with Chairman. I talked about it, and we didn't have the options to say things that I wish could have been said. But I think the fact that we can't say those things are a decision, or they're not necessarily a bad thing that you can't say certain stuff. Because of course, if you could, then it would change what the game is, and it would make it about something else. Something that is a little bit more to do with what the board and its exploitation of the people of Halcyon is or was doing. But of course, this is only one of the endings. I suppose if you choose different things, you get a completely different experience, I suppose. So yeah, that has been The Outer Worlds. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, you know it, leave a like down below. Leave a comment as well. Tell me how you felt about the game. Tell me how Parvati is your favorite character. And I will see you next episode. No, wait, not next episode. In the next Let's Play. Bye-bye.